Thumb in his mouth, squeeze tight.
No!
Thumb in his, don't lift him by the line, stick your thumb in his mouth, squeeze tight. Hi everyone, Cory here with Team Cramer Fishing. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a long time, but it's been really difficult. We've tried to do some travel vlogs and things like that, but it's really hard with a family of 4 with 2 small kids and then doing the type of trips that we do. One of the primary missions that we have here at Team Cramer Fishing is to inspire families to, go outdoors, and then fishing is the primary kind of portal that we do that through. So we want to show people, that it can be fun, but at the same time, we also want to be realistic about what goes into it. So I've always wanted to, you get a sense of some of it on some of our trips, kind of all the things that are going on that we're trying to do at the same time. But especially these camp and fish outings, I mean, a lot of times we're driving 3+ hours, setting up our stuff, getting our stuff ready at a place that we've never fished before, with 2 kids, and then we're going to go out and try to catch some fish. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that on our camp and fish outings. I mean, there hasn't been any time where we just like utterly slaughtered them or landed a 50-pound fish or something like that. But we've caught 3 different species of trout on our trout trip. We landed masterclass sunfish on one of our other trips. And we've done pretty well. We've never just gotten completely skunked and had everything suck. But I've also never been able to show what goes into the camping aspect. Getting all the gear packed, getting it set up, kind of what the stuff that we're using behind the scenes. And so I run this whole channel off of a Chromebook, so I don't have a lot of space and memory to store stuff. This is kind of some technical limitations that we have, so it makes it really difficult if I'm trying to shoot a long scene. So in this video, I really put a lot of effort into saying, okay, at least this one time I want to show people kind of some of the stuff that's going on in the background that we're doing, and some of the other things that we're doing behind the scenes other than just fishing. And it's a lot harder to do, but I'm glad I did it. So for the first time, I'm going to have kind of a voiceover, and what I'm going to do is speed up kind of the process of unpacking our car and getting our campsite set up 10 times. So you're going to watch a couple hours of us, and it's edited a little bit too. So you're going to watch a couple hours of us trying to get everything set up and ready after we've already driven. This was a pretty short trip, about an hour or so, but after we've already driven a while and I've only slept, a couple hours after work, we're going to get all this stuff set up, then get our fishing stuff set up, and then so this is divided into 2 parts. This is part 1. You get to see the first day of us arriving, getting everything set up, and then going fishing. So I hope you enjoy it. It's a little different. I'm going to try to do the second video similar to this one, so we'll have 2 in a row. All right, here we go. Let's get into the Pine Lake camping and fishing outing. We had never been at this fishing at this lake before. I watched some of Hawkeye Basson's videos, and he caught a couple good fish up here. And my main goal was to catch a northern pike. But we catch everything that we can too. So, and we want to have a good time and be safe with the kids. So here's a behind the scenes view of what goes in to one of our camp, bike, and fish videos. All right, so we've just arrived here and lowered the bike rack down and start unloading the car. So since it's not raining, I'm going to unload the back of the car first and just get everything out. I try to design kind of our packing style, I guess, or strategy around the fact that it could be kind of rainy out or there could be a storm coming. So I always put the tent in the front of the car so I can take the tent out first if I need to, set it up, and then take things directly from the back of the car inside the shelter of the tent. But since it was nice out today, we didn't have to do that. So we have to pack a lot of stuff, and you got to squeeze every inch of space that you can, especially if you have a couple kids. So there went the tent out right there in the cooler, and then the car seat goes back in. Now we're going to find a spot to set up our tent. We have a Coleman Weathermaster tent. I I haven't done a review on it yet, but I probably will be. We've been using this one about 5 years. Probably got another year or two left out of it, I'd say. So once you get to your site here, we're going to try to figure out where we want to set it up. All these campsites can be different, and this is a big tent, so once we figure out where we want it, we're going to start staking it down. Now, when the kids were younger, this was basically a one-person job. I would essentially set the entire tent up until I got to a point where it was just a little easier. I could grab Heather for a second or two while she would watch the kids. Now that the kids are a little older, you can see they're like, I think they're playing Uno or something over in the back of the car or doing whatever. You can kind of just let them run around. And this is a two-person job and it goes much faster. But when you have smaller kids, I mean, basically one person is going to be doing all the unloading, all the unpacking, and then the other person is going to be keeping an eye on the kids and making sure they stay out of trouble. This was a July 4th weekend, but I had to work the 2 nights of the weekend. I think July 4th was on a Tuesday, so we're actually showing up on a Sunday, and we're staying Sunday and Monday. So this is kind of the equivalent of like a 2-day weekend camp out. We use cots, and I've really come to prefer them over the air mattresses. So each person basically has a cot, a sleeping pad that goes over the top of them, and then their own bag that has all their own stuff in it. So if you can't fit your stuff into your bag, then it needs to stay at home because space is very limited. I bought these cots at Jack's Outdoor in Ames. I think they have a couple stores in like Colorado too. They've worked really well. Again, we've had them 5 or 6 years. And what's nice about them is when it rains, you don't have to worry about getting wet, and then you can also store your bags and stuff underneath them. So you kind of get that extra space. And this tent's really tall, so you can stand up straight in it. And there's plenty of space to store stuff under the cots. The bad part about the cots, these particular ones, are that they're pretty heavy. They weigh like 20 pounds each, so heavy duty, kind of tough to lug around, but they definitely will keep you dry and comfortable. So after the tent's off, one of the things I noticed when I was doing research for this trip, which was kind of a last minute trip, was that there was a bike trail that ran along both of these lakes and then all the way down to the Iowa River. So I was like, hey, they have a bike trail, we'll bring our bikes. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring helmets for the kids. I also forgot to bring chargers for my GoPro battery. So right there, I was just unloading my fishing rods from the fishing rod holders. In order to fit them in, I have to take all the reels off and completely break them down. So it takes a lot of work. So here Heather is getting the mattress pads on. I bought these mattress pads at Aldi grocery store for 20 bucks each several years ago. They don't roll up as small as the like Thermarest. I have a couple of those too, but they also don't cost, $120. So as I'm outside working on stuff, Heather's in here getting all of our beds ready. So by the time it gets dark and it's time to roll around, we can just basically just come and hop and go into bed. And then I'm getting all the kitchen supplies set up. So have a little collapsible sink there and dish holder. I mostly use it to hold our dishes. I got tired of our dishes just being strung out all over the campsite, especially on the longer campouts. This one's only a couple days, so we don't use them too much, but it's nice to have that little spot where all your stuff can go back into, and it just holds them. There was a cutting board there. So after all that, we're still here to fish. So now I got to attach all the rods or all the reels to our rods. And that takes time. Again, this is sped up at like 10 times the amount of time. So there's a lot of work that goes into this. It takes a couple days of prep to get ready, and then you have to drive there and then get everything set up. We are at Pine Lake State Park at the little spillway that runs between the 2 lakes that are here. We were riding our bikes and we saw this spot, and so I rode back and grabbed our fishing stuff. I thought I went pretty fast. And so what we're going to do is a little species assessment. We're going to see how many species and what we can catch in this little spillway between the lakes. And the girls are tying their own hooks, so they might be here a little while. I think so.
What is it?
Could be weeds, could be a fish. Could be someone's line. Oh, I got a spinnerbait. Oh, got it. Oh, now I can catch my pike later. Caught somebody's gigantic spinnerbait. I don't know why anybody would use a gigantic spinnerbait in 2 feet of water, but they're lost. Viv has the fish, first fish on. What is it? A bluegill.
That was actually less than 5 minutes.
All right, Viv is on the board. We know there are bluegill here. See.
Last one.
Here you go.
A log and a stick out there.
Oh,
How did you get that so fast?
Well, I have a lot of experience.
Damn it.
They have a little wire that sticks out. Oh, Viv has something. What does she have? Another bluegill. That's the fattest one. Ooh, that is a chunky one. That's probably the one that was biting on my stuff.
this guy jumped out there.
Look at the mud on your face, kid. Well, how big do you think it is? 7.5, maybe?
Can you hold him still? It's really stuck and I can never get enough line in my pool.
Hold the fish.
I've been doing that.
That's a very healthy bluegill right there.
No, it's not.
Oh.
On the bottom fin, it does have a couple of molecules.
Fish on. I think it's fighting pretty good. Ooh, another nice bluegill. Definitely a keeper size. What?
Not as fat.
Not as fat as the other one, she says. I'm gonna say 7.5 inches, about. Like a bass. Okay, let's go look at it. Hold on.
Bluegill.
That's a bluegill?
The fish is in the weed. I need to go clean that.
You do? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait just a second, buddy. She got a nice bass. Watch out, Viv, so I can see. Miles, you can go right here in the weeds, okay?
Huge. It's huge. It's huge. How do I hold that?
Put your thumb in his mouth, squeeze tight.
No.
Thumb in his, don't lift him by the line. Stick your thumb in his mouth. Squeeze tight.
No, I'm too tangled. Just come grab me.
Put your thumb in his mouth and squeeze.
No, it's too disgusting.
Just do it and squeeze tight.
Too heavy.
He's not that heavy.
Too heavy.
Just do it.
He's too heavy. Shut.
They are not going to hurt you. Squeeze tight. Hold tight. Lift hard. Have you caught a bass before ever, Heather?
I don't know.
I don't think. I think this is her first bass ever, folks. So forgive her for freaking out. It is. Here, hold on. Don't let him go back in the water. Maybe I should leave that on. That is a good. Should we weigh it? We should weigh it for your PB, I think. Let's.
Miles, here you go, potty.
He's going to.
Just go.
Let's go see how much it weighs. All right. I'm gonna say 1.75.
Daddy got another bluegill.
Okay, let's see what we got. Zeroed out.
Don't stab me.
1.5 pounds. So whenever you're watching my videos and you see me say, oh, that's a 1.5 pounder, that's what it feels like. Here you go.
Daddy,
All right.
what did you say?
Ouch, Drew.
How did,
All right, put them in nicely right here, Mommy.
Daddy, how many pounds?
1.5. Should we measure it?
Wow.
They've just got a nice sunfish. That's like 8 inches in fat. Look how fat that guy is, man.
Let's eat him.
No, he's
I'm
so
not
pretty.
cleaning
So that
anything.
last one was a sunfish too.
He's not real big, but
He's
yeah, it's a
bleeding.
bluegill.
He's bleeding. His eye is bleeding.
He's good.
I
He'll
caught
be
his
all right.
eye.
No, you didn't. Probably was already injured. Okay, let him go.
Take him off.
You take him off. Fish. I have a fish, but my line is stuck on the tree, so I'm just gonna let the fish swim out and try to get it unstuck.
Yeah, I think you're stuck on somebody else's line.
No, I'm stuck on a tree.
No. You're stuck on a line that's on somebody's, that's on the tree.
There's a bite. I have a fish.
Pull it hard.
I'm gonna let it swim.
Come on, Viv. Don't let him swallow it.
I'm gonna let him go out of the line.
All right.
So then I can get it.
Then walk to the left or do something different.
Like raccoons fall in the water. That's the
Get my bobber. Get my bobber.
No. I'll get the net and get your
All right, hurry up. I think that fishes might still be stuck over there. Well, he should be able to get off if he gets.
Dad.
No, he's
What the heck? How was I automatically snagged? I don't get that.
seems pretty snaggylicious over here.
That was odd. I barely.
That's what happened to me. Then you told me I was stupid.
I know. Don't like it when this happens. Well, something. How was? I don't know how that was happening.
And the same thing is going to happen that just happened. This is the last time I'm loading your pole.
So when you have.
What happened?
Drop my pole. When you have braided line, can you hold my pole just like that? What you can do is wrap this, wrap it. And then sometimes you can get it out like that, sometimes your hook breaks. How about you wait?
Have something?
Ooh, there's a big.
I don't think so. Although I don't think my weight should be that heavy.
Have something. Have a tiny bluegill. Oh, it's
Bullhead.
bullhead.
That's tiny.
God,
It's not as tiny as the one we were
this
catching.
is the little guy that was messing with my stuff. Little black. Oh no, it's a yellow bullhead.
Little black. Oh,
It's a new species. He has perfectly white whiskers. So at least I got something out of this, a new species. Tiny, tiny little guy. Pretty blue eyes. Now me getting him off without getting spined
it's gonna be.
is going to be tricky. But we're going to try it.